Stop. I'll stop or what? Good afternoon. Hello, friends. Welcome to this session of Chinese language. Myself, Anita Purohit, Dr. Anita Purohit. Today, I'm going to talk to you all about the effective use of Chinese language. To tell you in brief, this recording is meant for TLC, where I'm a part of TLC. And this is the recording is done for 30 minutes mini video course. And this is an assignment that for that I am doing this recording. So please listen carefully and stay tuned till the end of the video session. Thank you.
Let's begin by our summary. These are three topics which I'm going to ask. So let's start. So Anita, what is Chinese? And can you
Well, being a Chinese teacher since 1997, I should say, or maybe from year 2000, I have been teaching people Chinese and I have studied Chinese for last 8 years or maybe more than that. I have traveled and stayed in Shanghai. Also, I have cleared up to HSK for the international exam done conducted by Hanwang in Shanghai. So let me tell you, Chinese Chinese is a language, and the Chinese has got three dialects basically. It has Mandarin, Cantonese, and Hakka. Mandarin is spoken in mainland China and different other parts like Guangzhou and different other parts of China, whereas the Cantonese is spoken by the population present in Hong Kong, and Hakka is a tribal language, mostly spoken in rural places. Like there is a place called Yu, which is in the Puthu district, Puthu province of Shanghai. So in Yu and rural places, people speak Hakka. Hakka is basically a tribal language. So we have Mandarin, we have Cantonese, and we have Hakka. Mandarin is widely used all over the globe. That is the official language, and that is the literal language of Chinese. So, hope this clarifies your question.
moving
Yeah, as I mentioned, the Chinese dialects are three: Mandarin, Cantonese, and Hakka. This is what it is shown in the circle here in this particular slide. Mandarin, Yu Cantonese, Xiang Yuanese. These are all different things. Mainly, it is of three types. You have Mandarin, Cantonese, and Hakka. As I mentioned, the Cantonese again they are classified into Yu Cantonese and Xiang Yuanese and all like that. So this is it. So when we look at broadly, it is Mandarin, Cantonese, and Hakka. So that's it.
is there any difference in between mainland China
Yeah, definitely. The mainland China people speak Mandarin slightly different than the Taiwanese people. The Taiwanese Chinese differs a bit. Even when we look at the character, the Hanja, the mainland China Chinese, the Hanjas are a little bit simplified compared to the Taiwanese Hanja. As you look on the screen on the slide, Mian is rural, but when we look at the character of Mian through mainland China, it is a simplified character as compared to the Taiwanese character. The Hanja, Mian, which is complicated, it has two parts, radical and significant. Whereas when we look at the simplified Chinese, which is the character of mainland China, it only has a significant. So the mainland China Hanjas are a bit simplified, I should say.
people?
No, not really. If you think it difficult, then it may be difficult, but it is not really difficult. One has to put in some effort, systematic and methodical approach to learn the language. The grammar is not very vast, it is simple. They don't have so many tenses like you have present, past, and future now. And all, at the same time, say for example, I want to say I go, it is in present tense. So it will be watch you. I went, I want to say in past tense, it will be watch you love. So law is a modal particle. So just by adding a modal, the verb changes to a past tense. The verbs are not conjugated unlike how it is in English language or in European languages, I should say. And they have a logical structure to the grammar also. And then because it is Hanja, the character learning is a bit difficult because you need to master the strokes. Couple of strokes put together in a particular manner forms a character, which is Hanja. So in one Hanja, one character, you can have a minimum of 7 to 8 strokes also. And there are simplest character like run. When you say run, that is people, you just have 2 strokes upside down. So the Hanjas are a little bit complicated. One has to master the strokes and learn the order of putting the strokes to form the characters. So Chinese learning, so far you're learning through pinyin, is simpler and easier. But when you put your finger into learning Hanjas, those are a bit difficult, I should say. But one has to be methodical again, and you have to practice a lot to master the Hanjas. So, building blocks in Chinese. Yeah. So, is Chinese difficult to learn? No, not really difficult to learn. You have to master the tone and master the character. Building blocks in Chinese. Electronics plus switch, that is phone, Tianhua. So, like, Tianhua, this is Tianhua is telephone. Tian is any electrical component, electrical part, and Hua is speech. Put together, it becomes phone. We use electrical appliance to talk to somebody. So Tian is a radical part and Hua is a significant part. Tian Hua is telephone. Then you have again computer. Tian now. Tian is electronic portion, electrical portion. Now is the body of the computer. Then you have Tianing movie. Tian is electrical, moving is picture, shadow. So that is the way how it is like. So most of the words it has 2 components, and this is how it goes.
And what sequence should I learn?
First of all, there are 2 ways to learn Chinese. Either you can learn through Pinyin or you can learn through Hangzhou. So when I say Pinyin, we write the Chinese using Romanian script, that is English syllable to write Chinese. And to be able to speak, you can always speak by if you are good in reading the Pinyin. So you can learn through Pinyin, wherein we have to write the character using Romanian script, that is English syllable. And then, but this is a tonal language, we have to master the tone. There are 4 different tones. You have first tone, second tone, third tone, and fourth tone. The first tone is a horizontal line, straight. Second tone is a slanting line, 45 degree with the horizontal. The third tone is, it goes down and goes up, 45 degree downward. Then again it goes up 45 degree. So which is a third tone. And the fourth tone is a 45 degree downward. So basically, the tones are put on top of vowels, and the tones help us to pronounce the word correctly. So the tones are only put when you are using pinyin to write the Chinese. Say for example, if I say ni hao, I'll write Nihao, ni hao. Then an I of ni, I have to put a third tone, and the how, Hao, the A of how, I have to put a third tone. So ni hao is hello basically, and so this is a tonal language. We have to master the tone. So first of all, one has to learn the pronunciation of English syllables. Suppose you adopt Pinyin method of learning. Then you have to master the tone, master the pronunciation, numbers and all. You need to learn how to say the numbers in Chinese because the numbers are not pictorial. Those are all pictorials, but it is not numeric in Chinese. How we write 1, 2, 3, 4 in English, they do not write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 like how we write in English, but they have character pictorial. The numbers are written in pictorial, or you can use pinyin to write numbers. Say, for example, Ling, E, or San, Si, U, Liu, Chi, Pa, Chu, Sure. So the numbers are in numbers in Chinese. Either you use pictorials, the hanja to write, or you can write using pinyin. But they don't have that symbolic, the numeric way of writing the numbers, unlike in English or any other language. So the expressions are very close to English language, and sometimes the expressions are not very close to English language also. So this is what you can see in the slide down there. N and she and all. So
So, ma'am, how long does it take to learn Chinese?
see, there are two ways to learn the Chinese. Either you learn through Pinyin or you learn through Hangzhou. So when you adopt the Pinyin method of learning Chinese, minimum of 2 months, or say you have 2.5 months, you have to have to master the language. You should have a regular way of practicing the what you learn. At least you spend half an hour a day, so 5 days a week, 12 months. So that is how you master the conversation skills and all. So basically, suppose you spend less time in a day, 30 minutes in a day, and you want to master the conversation skills, and you do not want to master the character. So 6 months down the line, that is the minimum time that you need to pick up the language to be able to speak. If you really want to build frequency or develop frequency, it may go up to 12 months, which is 1 year. So practice makes a man perfect. This is what everybody believes. So whatever you learn, you have to put in some regular practice so that you master it and you remember it. And basically, when you're learning a foreign language, developing the skills in pronunciation, mastering the tone, mastering the grammar, mastering vocabulary, these are the things that one should focus at. Building sentences, one should learn the art of framing sentences because the sentence formations are very different in Chinese compared to those in English or any other language. So one should learn how to frame sentences.
Hmm. What is the best way to learn?
Yeah, tonal mastering there are ways out, like you can use your physical body. The first tone is a horizontal line, as I told you. Second tone is a slanting line going 45-degree upward. The third tone is it goes down and goes up again. It goes 45-degree down. In the slide, I don't think the third tone picture is given correctly. So the third tone, the stroke goes downward and then it goes upward 45-degree. So like mastering the tone, you can nod your head, or maybe you can use your fingers to show the tone. So this is how it is, like first tone horizontal line, second tone 45-degree upward it goes, third tone it goes down and goes up, and the fourth tone it goes down. This is the way. You can use your fingers to get the tones right. You can nod your head also to get the tones right. First tone is horizontal, second tone goes up, third tone goes down and goes up, and the fourth tone goes down. So this is why. Using the physical postures, one can practice mastering the tones. So
Do tones really matter?
yes, of course. Unless and until you have tones, it will be like it will be sounding like English. There won't be any difference between when you speak Chinese and when you speak English. So the tones really help us to pronounce the word with the typical Chinese accent. The unless until we have tone, we'll read that when you're writing the Chinese in pinyin, You read that as, you read that as English only, flat and horizontal. So when you have tones on top of the vowels, you read those words with the proper tone. It is rhythmic. When you have a first tone, you have second tone, third tone, and a fourth tone. The tones, when you put the tones right and you pronounce the tones right, it sounds very rhythmic. So having the tones is important. It helps you to pronounce the particular word correctly. 明天我要去. Tomorrow I want to go. 明天 is tomorrow. 我 third tone. 我 is I. 要 is want. 去 go. Tomorrow I want to go. So wherever you have tones, first tone, second tone, third tone, fourth tone, you really need to master the tone. 明天我要去。明天我要去。 So, 我 it has a third tone. 要 it has a fourth tone. 去 it has a fourth tone. So we really need to pronounce the tones correctly, which is very, very important.
What is premium?
Pinyin is basically we are writing Chinese because the mastering the character is very difficult. The Hanjiao people take years and years together to master the character. So the China government sometime in 1958 they devised a method which is very simplified using the English syllable. You try to write the Chinese that is called Pinyin method. War. You look at that slide here. War. Down in the blue ink, it is war the character. But up there, the war is written using English syllable. War, she, was she, huan, xiao, gao, xiao, gao. War is I, she, huan, that is basically one word. They club she, huan, that is like. I like. Xiao, xiao is small. Cow is dog. I like small dog. 我喜欢小高。我喜欢小高. I like small dogs.
Chinese character.
The characters are basically it is otherwise called as Hanjo, and the characters are used to prepare the pictorial, like how we say ABCD in English and Kaka Baba in Hindi. The characters are also the syllables basically. And the fei is to fly, fei, G aeroplane. Chinese words are character. The different characters put together form a word. So this is how it is like.
Do I need to learn Chinese characters?
Yes, definitely. Some people they do not have more time to learn character, so they try to adapt a simpler method and they learn through pinyin. But if somebody has got time, it is advisable to learn the character. Learning character is very, very interesting and it is fun also because using couple of strokes in different manners, you prepare a character. So there are it is symbolic. It's very, very symbolic. You can see inside the blue pentagon, it's written Li. Li is inside. So Li Li, and outside you have couple of words given there. Also, these are all characters. So basically, mastering characters or learning characters is fun and interesting. At the same time, it is pictorial and it is symbolic. Each and every character represents some symbol or it has some significance, some meanings out of it. Like so, this is
Yeah.
actually the traditional characters are traditional was before they used to use a lot many strokes to prepare the character. You can see on the screen pian. Pian has got so many strokes when we look at the traditional character. Later, people found it too difficult to master the traditional characters with so many, it is complicated. So what they did, The in China government itself, this was way back in 1958 or 60. They simplified the character and they prepared the simplified character, wherein the number of strokes used to prepare a character was lessened. So less number of strokes are being used to prepare the character Pian. So that is it.
Ma'am, thank you for giving a brief introduction about Chinese. It was
Thank you
great.
so much for listening to me and hope it was useful to some extent to my listeners and viewers. Again, we will come back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
TLC. Recording